I'm a mongrel. My dad was a Kiwi. My mum was Irish, English, and I grew up in Australia. So I think a lot of Aussies end up here coming on boats, and so I sailed into town, 20 something years ago, and tied up at City Dock. And I thought, what a great place! I can step off my boat. I can walk to 50 bars, and I say this a lot. Within the first week, someone's tooting their horn because they recognize you, and a couple of weeks later, you walk in the bar and they know your name, and then by the third week, the guitarist or the singer at the bar knows you. I felt it was a great little village. For me, I'd sort of raised my profile on West Street, where we'd taken what was the kind of the red light district for the city in a small way. The place had fallen on hard times, and we sort of turned that, like we say, from red light district to arts district. And then as we branded it as an arts district, as we brought different kind of things to the city, more diversity in food in a more diverse part of the city, and we started to bring some more urban concepts. And then I ran into a altercation with the city because I got a citation for peeling paint on my building, and probably the anti-establishment in me stood out front of my building with my citation in hand, and saw that over the road from my building was a state building that was peeling a lot more than mine was. And then around the corner, the city's own public works building was the most peeling building in the whole city at the time. We've since knocked that building down. So in the space of a week, I organized a world-class muralist to paint my building. I happened to be one block inside the historic district. So after the artist finished that mural, and he did it on first Sunday, our arts festival, where the street is locked down. So he was in a cherry picker spray painting the front of the building. It took him about 10 hours. And then that night at 6 o'clock, I get a email from the head of historic preservation going, "What have you done? Get into the principal's office on Monday." And that's how it all started. So, I want a town. I love the town because of its walkability. But there were things that I didn't see happening. We still have a town that is dominated by the automobile. In fact, our city dock is a 150 car parking lot. The best real estate in the city belongs to cars. We have great assets and great parks and different things in the city, but they're not connected. They don't flow. And, I wanted more diversity in restaurants. I wanted different types of entertainment that I wasn't seeing downtown. We have a lot of, nothing against them, but mainly was sports bars and Irish bars. And, I'm part Irish, so I'm not against that, but I wanted to see a little more of the kinds of things that I want, more coffee shops, more yoga places, more juice bars, things that we see in the Burlingtons, the Austins, the Boulders, the Ashvilles. And so I thought that I wasn't seeing it get done. And I thought if I step up that I could sort of steer us in that direction. And we were going to have an amazing year in 2020. We were going to have, a city dock park in motion, our climate change project, which would have been really put us on the map as far as resiliency goes in the country. We were going to have, we've opened another 600-acre park up to the public. We have a new pool, new public works, new garage, new tennis courts, new library from the county. We had a lot of exciting stuff happening in 2020, which would have been great springboard for 2021 when the election is up. But now 2020 is going to be obviously the year of Corona. I think everybody's anxious. Everybody is scared. My challenge is to manage that anxiety and give people some hope on the other side of it. I'm so proud of our city. It's interesting time because there's a lot of people that don't really believe in government, but now it is, where government has to step up and actually has to be the big part of their solution. I believe in the many good things that government has done. But if you look at the city of Annapolis's budget, nearly 70% of our budget is first responders, public works, mayor's office, and all of us are working now to steer the city through this crisis. So, the trash has to get picked up, the water has to be clean, all those things. Firefighters still have to do their job in fighting fires, but now they're transporting COVID patients. Police officers have to do that, but now they also have to disperse crowds. So, there's never been a more important time for government. I'm proud of the job that our amazing city employees are doing, and we're all happy to have a job too. On the county level, I think that they're doing an excellent job. The new health department, we don't have a health department, but we work so closely with them, and they're our health department in the city. And then on a state level, I think Governor Hogan has done a great job as well. And so, I think Maryland can be proud of what we've done. I think we definitely need some help federally, and I am frustrated. I know that this city, we could test every single citizen pretty much if we were given the capacity to do it. We have done drills on drive-through testing stations. We've done it with the flu over a year ago. We processed 1,000 people in one day over a certain period of time. So if we were given the capacity, we were given the test kits, if we were getting the acceleration of the reagents so the test kits could be made, we could be on the same path as Germany or as South Korea. In Germany now, they are processing over 500,000 tests a week, right? This is a country of 80 million people. So they managed to do it. They started in the same place as us. If you look at all the graphs, South Korea is sort of coming out the other side. We are not going to get confidence back. People are not going to have the courage to go outside or send their children outside until they know that teacher that their child is standing in front of, or that policeman or that doctor or that nurse or that shopkeeper is COVID clear in some way, right? So that's a big part of it. So it's great that we're flattening the curve by staying inside, but there's another piece to that, and I'm not seeing the leadership on a federal level to get us to that point.
Thank you for bringing that up. It's funny because we do have to imagine something after this, right? I mean, it will change, but some of it we want to come back to as normal as possible. That's certainly the case with the hospitality sector, right?
Oh, yeah.
Do you feel like there's a way forward where people are going to once again feel comfortable going to a movie theater or to a bar or to a restaurant?
Yeah, I mean, we have to, there will be a way forward. There is going to be life after COVID. Life is going to be different, and there's probably going to be a few phases of it. There's going to be that initial phase where maybe we expand temporarily our outdoor cafes and we socially distance our indoor tables. Maybe there's no bar in the beginning, maybe we have to kind of phase that in. But I can tell you, it's going to be a great feeling, that first restaurant that you go to, that you sit opposite some friends and you feel confident to do that. People are very depressed now, and it's going to get tougher before it gets better. But for me, I'm going to be talking about all the projects that are coming in the city, all the places that you'll be able to go that will bring people back together and safely. And get people back to work and get our economy rolling again. We have to get our economy rolling, because you might not know anybody who perishes from COVID, or you might distantly know someone. You will know a lot of people who have perished economically from this. I mean, and so there are a lot of businesses that are not going to reopen. There are, I'm sure many restaurants that will fall by the wayside on this, because we've been hit so hard and so fast. I mean, I think that if there's anything good that's going to come out of this event, I think people are going to be more conscious of their environment. in a lot of ways, because we're actually getting out and seeing it. There's nothing else to do but go for a walk or go for a bike ride, discover a new green space that you didn't know was there in the county and in the city. And so I hope that those habits continue on the other side of it. And I always say you can't love something until you can feel and touch it, you know. And I think that this has given us an awakening on that front, you know. So hopefully